is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, boys and squirrels. The data just dropped right now. For drum roll, please, we have PPI. PPI. All right, let's get to it. So I'll pull up what I got here. Here we go. Which view do I want? Do I like that one, this one? I'll go with this one for now. All right. I'm having AI review the PPI data. All right, and now looks like the market kind of liked whatever happened. So let's see. I'm seeing 4.7 as numbers expected for year over year. 4.9 was expected. So let's see. Let's see it because it's going to read the entire report for us, and then I'll be able to understand what that means. How you guys doing today, man? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get some music going, yeah? All right, so all in all, PPI coming in soft. We're going to dive into the chart in just a second here. So basically holding 70 here, holding 70 days. This is from yesterday. So yesterday's inflation came in expected. Looks like it's updating. Lots of overnight news, so it's just calibrating what I just fed in. So we're just waiting here to get some data in on the war room app and just kind of understanding like what are we really looking for, what's the market seeing. Obviously right now, market is still in this weird funk, and I'm gonna talk about this, but we have not changed yesterday. Good call, not break to the upside, actually broke to the downside, so it was a C setup, just like I call in the morning live stream. If you're here with me yesterday, smash the like button because we're avoiding these obstacles, guys. We're avoiding the chop as much as possible. Man, I mean, yesterday I didn't even take a trade. I hopped off the live stream. I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm retarded. Sorry. Jeez Louise. That's how you ruin a whole live stream right there. You just keep talking and don't actually look at chat. And then you look over and you realize like, okay, you got 20 viewers and it's because you're an idiot. All right, I'm here. Let's go. Can I restart this thing 3 minutes in? Jeez Louise. Can you imagine watching a video for 3 freaking minutes and actually hanging on? That's not going to happen, dude. I'm an idiot. All right, I'm here. Sorry, guys and gals. We got some music going that might have... we love you anyway. Thank you, dog. Appreciate it. All right, let's hop into it. We've got a lot to cover here. I'm going to start at the top. So PPI came in, okay? The inflation case for being bearish. The inflation case for being bearish is finished. Wow. Only oil is left, and we're going to check that out in a minute. Wholesale inflation came in at 4.7 against 4.9 expected, and flat on the month against 0.2 expected. That follows a tame CPI on Wednesday. Prices are cooling, and at both ends of the pipeline, the board stays at 70 bearish. Look at this, 70 bearish, man. So this is AI's aggregated news. Our AI, Claude, which is amazing, has put together this awesome website and awesome feed for us that updates in real time. And so the board stays at 70 because Brent is still at $87. And Iran says no ships cross Hormuz without its approval. Good morning, guys. Good morning. You guys are awake. Let's go. All right, smash the like button. Let's get it going, baby. That one leg is holding up the whole number, and one leg is not much. It's not much. We ain't got much, but we got something. All right, retail sales are tomorrow, 7:30 Central. Expected 0.1 plus consumer sentiment at 59.9 shows whether or not expensive gas and weakening jobs market are finally reaching the shopper. I don't think so. I'm going to say I don't think it is, but that's just me. So important news events for the week. That's the one that matters next. Retail sales for tomorrow, Friday. And then Tuesday, Friday next week is another CPI report. Wednesday, the following week is a Fed decision with forecasts. Guys, it's getting real. That's for September. That's next month. Next month on the Wednesday, September 16th. Mark that in your calendar because that's going to be a big one. Fed decision. Now we already have the what we think is going to happen. So that's just kind of like what actually happened. So anyways, War Room is saying that we're still bearish. That's macro. Let's go to the charts. How you guys feeling this morning, man? You guys having a good morning? Hope that you guys are having a great morning. Hope you're ready to get into the charts. Who yesterday avoided a cataclysm of choppy crap because you joined me in here? Anybody? 1 through 10. How good was your trading yesterday because you joined me? And whether it was in here or live, I know a lot of you are in my live group, but who joined me in here and heard me say, I am leaning, what did I say? I had everybody type it in chat, bullish, right? I said bullish. The reason I'm bullish is because we're in uptrend on a weekly, on a daily. I mean, it makes more sense on a 4-hour. So I'm really looking at like pulling out of this inside structure up to our highs that we talked about, right? What happened yesterday? Let's take a look at it. When you have a constant, when you put yourself with a constant, which is this 15-minute range, you're going to be such a better trader, guys. You're going to be so much better than like looking for all these, where's the key levels and liquidity zones on the chart? Where should I look next? You're so lost if you're doing that. Stop it. Use the 15-minute orb. It's the opening range breakout. It'll save your life. I'm telling you, as a day trader. Now, if you want to swing trade, do whatever. Go put some MAs on. If you want to micro scalp and try to get 10 points at a time, good luck. Use liquidity zones and whatever. Go pull up Bookmap. Subscribe to 5 different softwares so you can see everything. Put footprint charts on. Study order flow and auction market theory, because that does move the market. Yes. But it doesn't really matter if you're doing what I'm doing. It doesn't really matter. And actually, it's kind of crazy. Last night I did this back test, right? I always do back tests. Who in here always does back tests? Me. I have back tested way more than forward tested. Way more. And in fact, there's a bunch of interviews that I've seen of multi 7-figure established, proven, record-winning day traders, whatever, award-winning day traders who have said in the interview the same thing. Like, do you backtest? Yes, I backtest more than I forward test. So if you're doing that, shout out to you. You're probably going to make it in this game, because if you backtest your ass off, like I have, and just getting good at seeing setups and understanding your model, that's the big thing. If you're using this range, you need to understand your model. Like, look at yesterday. What were we? We were in an uptrend, right? Look at this. We're in an uptrend. Should we be looking for shorts in an uptrend? Not really. Not really. Like, this doesn't even make any sense. So I'm going to go light. And if we flip, then maybe I have reasons for flipping, right? Maybe in real time, sentiment has changed. News comes later. Maybe there's a 9 o'clock news that it just, maybe Trump tweets something, whatever, right? There might be, but I gotta see it. I gotta keep my ear to the ground, be quick and nimble, and be like Wata, right? Flow with the market. So when we broke down yesterday, our daily bias for the day was down. The daily bias was down. When you break this range one way or another, see how these sell signals are saying, short me, short me. Yeah, that's what they're actually saying. It sounds just like that too. When they do that, ladies and gentlemen, what they're doing is they're saying we are going down still, and this second S2, the short 2 signal, is saying this might be a good area to add to your position or take another shot at it. Come on, you got this. And in this environment, have we broken structure to the downside yet? No. Do we have reasons to go down there? Absolutely we do. We have this data low. And I'm going to drag this over to the left so you can see it's just chilling down here, right? We got this data low. What's a data low? It's just a wick that where news dropped. Whoa. Where news dropped and we created the candle just kind of wicked down here. These seem to be like magnets All right, they seem to be like magnets. So whether it is or not, fugazi, right? But that's down there, and we have a reason to go down there because we have previous daily low. I mean, not previous daily low, but London low. So there are reasons to go down, and the reason to go down is that this is the most comfortable area on the chart. You put up a volume profile, your volume profile, your range here is going to be right in the center. See that? See that little line right here? Zoom out. I think it's pretty close. Let's see it recalculate. There we go. It's right there. See that line? That's the comfortability zone. That means we've traded the most amount of volume right there. And you can see from the volume profile that this entire area here, this entire area is comfortable for traders, right? So this is what we call our chop zone. And we've been in this zone since Friday, okay? And we're still in it. We're still in this bad boy right now. So it's another way to see whether or not, you know, your price might be choppy. We could also look at gamma, something I mentioned a few times, but you know, I'll be doing that later. But at the options market, basically, and whether or not we have positive or negative gamma, I still think we're in this chop zone for gamma as well, which just means the market isn't betting one way or another. It's pretty neutral, okay? It's like if you're sitting there right now watching this stream and you haven't smashed, just absolutely crushed, like broke your freaking keyboard, smashing or your phone screen, if you're watching on the phone, smashing the like button. You're just neutral. You're just totally neutral. You don't know this guy. You don't know if he's going to give you good information today. You're like, I'm not doing shit. I'm sitting right here until he gives me some value. All right, well, the value's incoming, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, okay? We're going to go wide to narrow. That's the show. That's what we're doing. Wide first. Started this last Monday, and I've had a lot of fun with you guys. We've really tore it up. I feel like there's been so many good calls, and I'm only focused on the Nasdaq. I've been doing this for years now, trading the Nasdaq. I've been trading for 9 years, those of you that don't know me. I trade a method called the Crazy Horse Orb strategy. It's using the opening range breakout with dynamic money management. You cannot control this market. You won't be able to memorize every setup in the book. Don't try to do it because it doesn't work. But what you can do is focus on your money management, and you can hone in on the one thing that you can control, which is your sizing. Yes, I said it. It's the thing nobody wants to really talk about, but your sizing, ladies and gentlemen. My kids are so cute. I got a picture of them walking into their school. This is their third day of school, and this is the first day mommy's dropping them off together without walking them in, and they walked in holding hands. That's so cute. I have a daughter and a son, 9 and 5, so very cute. I wish I was there. Okay, so long story short is we want to start wide. Okay, we want to zoom out, get a big picture. That's why we start with the War Room. This is an app that I basically built. It's like a website that aggregates through AI all of the news and tells us our sentiment. After we get our sentiment, we can kind of look around and get our market environment. This is something a lot of traders skip because they just want an entry model. Listen, Nina. Listen, George. I don't know why I said Nina. I don't know. One of my best friends is Nina and her husband, Mark. Shout out to Mark and Nina. I don't know, but like, people search for entry models and they think that that is the thing that they need to focus on. And this is what you need to focus on. And this is getting a bigger picture, so that way you know where you're at. So when the 15-minute range forms, you can establish, do I want to do business in this area? Does that make sense? Hoorah, 1 through 10 in chat. Does that make sense? All right, so wide to narrow, let's go. Here's the 4-hour chart. We can see I have some dots around here, and we're just gonna clear off everything. We're going like this. We're doing it. Here we go. All right, we're gonna find the structure first. You guys ready? Step 1, find your structure. You probably will appreciate how I'm just very mechanical with this every day, because a lot of people skip this in their trading. What's the highest or lowest point on the chart? The highest point's up here. That is our range high. We're going to put a horizontal line going across the chart. That is range high. Is that a weak high or a strong high? Type it in chat. Let's go, chat. Come on, baby. Drum roll, baby. Is that a strong high or a weak high? Let's go, chat. Let's go. It's going to be strong. Let's go. Why is it strong? Because we are in. What trend are we in, chat? What trend are we in? What trend are we in, baby? You guys, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't kill me, dude. Don't kill me. I'm joking. I'm joking. Week high. You got it. You guys are like, what the hell? I know. I drank too much coffee. My bad. All right. Week high. We're in an uptrend, baby. Let's go. We're in an uptrend. So it's more likely that the range high gets broken. What created that high? What created that right there, ladies and gentlemen? What created that right there? We'll put a big question mark. What created that? We got to go left. We got to see what created it from the left, and we can follow this all the way down, and we can see we got a little swing point right here. That's probably a pretty good area because we had a lot of volume breaking here. We had a structural break over to the left. Zoom out just a little bit more, but right here, this was a nice structural break. We have a shelf right here. All right, so let's mark that out. Let's do it, baby. So first of all, let's put our dot. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom of what I would consider a 3-candle pullback. 3 candles, type 3 candles in chat. 3 candle, brah. Bobby, you're so funny, dude. Question everything that I know. Sorry. 3 candles. Okay, why are we writing 3 candles? Because we want a 3 candle pullback in order for a swing point to be validated. Isn't that cool? Now you never have to worry. Is that a swing? Is that not a swing? 3 candle pullback will give you a swing point. Make that a rule. Write it down. Put a sticky note on it and move on. Because guess what? What I'm doing right now is I hate to say this because I'm probably going to lose some people, but I don't care. It's an art, not a science. There goes all the ICT traders. It's not a science. It's not an algorithm. It has to be right on my line. No, it's just zones, dog. It's zones. It's an art. You got to free flow like water. That's how this works, baby. Okay, so we got a shelf beneath us. We got our swing point. We're in between a range high and a range low. It's a big range. Let's just say a big range, all right? And then internal structure here. This is internal internal structure. We've got what? We've got our internal swing low, another swing high, a higher low, and we're in between an internal range. Well, wouldn't you look at that? It's pretty much the same as what I started with when we pulled up the charts. Oh boy. And this has been kind of crushing us lately since last Friday. This is where this chop zone comes into play. We don't have any direction. Okay, so the market is just waiting. It's not confident one way or another. So we're inside of this internal direction. We're looking for support or resistance. Do we have any support or resistance? Well, the only like real support that we have is down here, which is our internal range low, right? And I would even move it up to this one just because I mean, I don't have anything here, so I'm not trying to make it up, you know what I mean? But this is all you got for support. Resistance, somewhat of the same, but you do have 2 touch points up here. Market tried yesterday and failed to break out of this internal swing point. Do we do that today? Maybe we do. Maybe we climb up there and finally break out. I'm looking for this breakout, but this is going to be your internal range right here. So this is all internal range, and I'm not going to shout out the numbers. You can see the numbers on the right, but yeah, basically we're stuck between a high and a low. All right, hoorah, ready to go to the 1 hour. Type 1 hour in chat. Let's go. Moving down to the 1 hour. Let's do it. All right. Nothing has really changed from yesterday, so I don't need to change anything on the 1 hour. We're going to move a little bit faster here. There is a little bit of like a head scratch. It's a little bit of a head scratcher for me because we have power control right here where candles are moving aggressive with volume and speed, and you would think like, okay, we're gonna break out. This looks like a great breakout. This totally just faked out, grabbed the high here from previous session, and then you got all your whoever traders trying to short this, so they did a good job shorting that little key level, and now market is in a range, pure consolidation chop zone. We did go down and fill a 1 hour fair value gap below us, and that's pretty much all that happened. I mean, like, it's a very mundane tape from yesterday. Nothing really happened. Did anyone get chopped up yesterday? It's okay if you got chopped up, not a big deal. If you got chopped up, hopefully today we can stay out of the woods. Yesterday was a good call. I had everybody in my live stream. Basically, I said, close the laptop. I'm not taking a trade. even when the trade appeared, we didn't care. I moved on, man. And I'm really happy that I did that because it was pure chop city, baby. I got chopped up, first loser in 12 days. Hey man, Josh, no problem. Join me in here, join me in the live room if you can, and let's go down to the 5 minute. Wait, hold on, before we do that, everyone type 5 minute. I'm not moving until everyone types 5 minute. Let's go, let's get it going. If you don't want to type out 5 minute, just smash the L button. Let's go for like. All right, not loser. We're not losing today. Let's go. There we go. 5 minute, baby. Okay, 5 minute chart. Let's just take a look real quick. Okay. All right, here's what we got. All right, so yesterday I had this pre-market target up here. This was just simply London's high. Was it? No, it was previous. It was a previous daily high, right? Okay, because we had 2 previous daily highs. So I had this previous daily high. Above it, I had another daily high. I know a lot of ICT traders were going for this. Like, this is my what do they call it? Outside buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity. It's hilarious, dude. Yeah, that didn't work out. Why? Because number one, we never really cleared this range high over here. You got to look at higher time frames, right? We never cleared that. We just discovered over to the left right here. Sorry, over to the left. We never cleared this range high. So price needs to clear that. And where you get in down here on, like, if you were to get in down here on, like, let's say you got in down here on the CPI print. You know, you let it play out a little bit, then you get in and you ride this up a little. You're feeling good. 70 points. Take your win and go, dude. Don't just sit there and you know, here's like the 8:30 candle opens up and you're just negative right off of one candle. Come on. Don't let the market do that. You're basically gambling. Like, yeah, you have a break even stop, but you made 70 points. Like, take your win and move on until you break out of this range. What's so hard for people to understand is buying high and selling higher, right? Or buying low and selling low. It's so difficult for people to understand. Like, it's okay to buy the breakout. It's okay. All right. It's like, I don't know what it is with people. They feel like buying the breakout is buying, you know, it's like you should always buy a sell in premium, buy in discount. And it's like, no, bro, sometimes no, that doesn't always, that's not the name. You're trying to like call the top, call the bottom. You know, it's a very difficult game, dude. Yeah, you have good risk to rewards. That's good when you're right. But most of the time you're going to fail, dude. And it's just not worth it. Like, really see if the big money's behind you, even if you're high within premium or low within discount, and ride the wave. Just ride the wave. That's all you got to do. So market chopped around yesterday, gave a sell signal, gave 2 sell signals. Nothing happened here structurally. We never even broke internal structure really until the afternoon, as she finally fades out. And, you know, past the close Asia session. Asia, what does Asia do? She pumps back up to about middle of our opening range. So here's the middle of the opening range. I'm gonna just get the bands off so it's really clean. Hold on. There we go. So Asia pumps up, hands it off to London. London's like, I'm not feeling too comfortable up here. So it starts to cruise down. Doesn't quite take the low, so we still have this low. I will mark that. That'll be a key level. I'll turn on key levels in a second. And then basically, you know, London is kind of in the middle. Like, this is in the middle of our London session. So here's our London session right here. Price is in the middle of London, and then pre-market right now, the handoff to New York and London goes and takes out this this low, which is the majority of London session, and then is right back up in the middle of London. So clearly it's choppy. There's still no direction, and it's due to news. Like, it looks like the market was kind of risk off a little bit pre-market, and then the news hit, and we're a little bit more bullish than bearish, but like, you're talking tiny 70 point range. So nothing really, it doesn't really matter is what I'm saying. Okay, so what does that mean for let's talk about the range, where I want to see it, what kind of moves I'm thinking about today. First of all, let's go to back to the 1 hour and just take a look here and make sure we're not crazy. If I turn on the Orb Signal Pro so we can see the previous daily ranges, let's see if those pop up. Let me see those previous daily ranges here. Historical range. Let me go down to the 15. Okay. So look, the 15 kind of clears it up. You've got the majority of your ranges over here. So this is the 15-minute range. This is where price keeps opening up, right? Yesterday we opened up a little bit higher. And now we're kind of getting sucked back in to this lower level. And I have a feeling that price is probably going to want to get down here to this 1 hour FEG again and tap it just like she did here. So the point that I'm making is I can see a reason for price to want to get sucked back down in this range on a Thursday. I don't know why, but I just see it. If price does that, it's another chop. First of all, nothing changes today unless we break the high or the low of this internal structure. So you might as well just mark these on your chart. The high of yesterday is going to be a key level. The high of yesterday, this is going to be at basically 30,000 here. This is a previous daily high. All right, so you can mark that out. Make sure you have that on there. And then also the low here, this internal low. This is like a previous daily low. This is from Tuesday actually. So this previous daily low is the other spot that you want to be looking at. And price really isn't able to make a decision until she gets out of this range. Previous daily low down here. It seems far, but it's really not. You know how it is. When price opens up, she can move. So we got a previous daily low down here, right? All right. So I'm looking for price to break out of that range. Like that's my range right there. This is my range right here. This one. Because it needs to get out of these guys. We got to make a decision and get the hell out of here. Now, I will admit it seems it's very noisy here. And yesterday I told you I was leaning bullish. We ended up going up just to come right back down, but we really didn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we're still bullish on a higher time frame. I'm still leaning bullish. I hate to say that when we have a war room telling us that we have a 70% bear. But price leads, right? And we take a look at Brent real quick, just because I want to have a peek over at oil. I'm sure we would have already seen the market move if it was climbing or something. But here's Brent down at that 87 level. You know, if we start to see Brent climbing, if we start to see the chip sector falling, I got the Van Eck semiconductors here. You can take a look at this. We start to see this falling. If we start to see the yield rising, which I'm not seeing right at this moment. If we start to see the dollar rising, which I'm not seeing right at this moment, you know, we don't ever really, I don't even know why I have Bitcoin in here anymore, because she's so unreliable. It used to be Bitcoin led the way. Like 2020, early 2025, Bitcoin was leading the way. 24, 100%. Not anymore. Anyways, credit, you know, there's some things I look at here. Then you got the overall, the big guys in the market. You can see pre-market today. We'll take a look at the overall scoreboard on the right side just to take a look here. And, you know, we got the VIX. The VIX is up, I mean, down just a tiny bit, about almost 1%. Dude, 17.5. It's like the lowest it's been in a long time. So there's no fear in the market. Like, there's just no fear. This is saying no fear. Let's see. You know, WTI is down a little bit. You know, everything's pretty flat across the board from yesterday. But you look at pre-market, not really much to go off of. Everything looks pretty flat. Pretty flat. All right. So this one is another complicated day just because of our range, but I'm going to guess that we're going to form a range somewhere in here. I'm going to guess this could be like a widening cone where we take the high, take the low. Again, that's the idea of this choppy sort of environment that we're in. So I think previous daily high could be a target. And we got to be very careful because you want to break this. So even if we break outside of our range, depends. If we break outside of our range to the high side, then I'm going to be looking at taking a trade outside up to this key level, which is this previous daily high. If we can break outside of the range to the high side, which again, I'm leaning a little bit more bullish than bearish. If we do break to the downside, like we did yesterday, right? If this is our, well, let me just make sure that this is cleaner. Okay. Let's make this cleaner. 1 hour chart. Let's say we form our range. and then we break down. It's not going to take this long, I know, because I'm looking at a 1 hour, but let's just say we break down. There's a lot of traffic in here. This is that high volume node. So, I mean, be careful for breakout. I would say this is a C setup to the downside if we're still within this range. It's like a C minus. Be very careful with your sizing here, okay? Upside, same thing because we're in yesterday's range. But if we clear this high, I'm actually more... I'm more curious to see what happens up here than anything. But if we do break that high, like let's say price breaks outside of the 15 here. Let me just box this up so we can get an idea of what the 15-minute range looks like. All right. Let's say that price now breaks to the high side, and then we clear this with a lot of volume. If we do something like this, all right, I'm going to still say this is a C setup, but it's more like a C plus for the longs. All right, long C plus. Why? Because it falls in line with the higher time frame, and I think the price is trying. She's got some steam right here. She's trying to get up there. She had it right here. Power of control is still in place with the higher time frame. So I think that she could do it. If she breaks this with a lot of force and volume and swiftness, I can get behind this. And man, I might even hold that to see what happens. I mean, this is like how many points? It's 100 points, dude. It's very small. Yeah, so if we can clear this range, guys, we could have a leg up. All right. So if we can clear this range, this would be our leg up. Leg up. Leg up. One word. There we go. Leg up. So this is like from here, I'm looking at that like this is an A. Okay. This is smiley face A. This is where I might even... If we can clear out of here and get up here and we're starting to do this, dude, I might get in another trade up here. I might say this looks freaking good. I'll go off a shelf, you know what I mean? And do something like this and extend up 200 points. Because right now, we're pretty much flat on the day. So we have a lot of room, right? So this would be like, you know, you look at the percentage that this is up. This is only, you know, this isn't that, this is 200 points is not that big of a deal. It's 0.67%. So it's not even 1% up. So, I mean, if you want to go 1%, you extend it even higher. Let's see here. So we're like 0.14. Okay, so hold on. So that's 1%. Yeah, and so if you want to go like 1.3, 1.5, remember that 2% is pushing it. And on a day like today and a week like this week and the range, like who knows where we're forming it, but I'm going to guess that range is being formed in here somewhere, which is kind of inside of prior daily range and inside of the 3 prior ranges. So right now, I'm not as excited for the day in general. Yesterday, I told you I was leaning to the upside. I got in the live stream and I was like, all right, this is panning out to be chop. Everyone, you know, type chop, and basically everyone typed chop. And then I was like, I'm not even taking a trade. And then we did some meet and greet stuff and I hopped out. You know what I mean? So just kind of giving you some ideas here, but on the 1 hour, just zooming out once again, you know, how does this really look on this 1 hour? Let me zoom out. Here's the 1 hour. Get some perspective here, folks. I mean, look, it makes sense, right? You have the power control move to the upside. If you can break this structure, you're more apt to kind of break out, and that would be a breakout move. So, I mean, you could extend even further. Maybe this is like a 1.6% day. I don't know. But let's just say it's something like this. That still gives you room to go. You know what I mean? If this is a downward move, then I'm just going to have to wait to see it break the lows. That's all. All right, hoorah. Let's go. Anyone have any questions? So you got your, you know, I could just jump in here and say, okay, guys, I'm looking leg up, break the range high. I'm looking to, you know, size up. If we break the range low, I have to really get outside of this. I'm considering it a pullback, and I could be done in like 5 minutes in here, but I feel like going through the motions is going to help you guys just see the chart better. And honestly, dude, every time I do this, it's practice for me too. You know what I mean? Every single time. So it's like, I mean, I've done this thousands of times, but still, continuation Thursday. Yeah, maybe it's a slight move up and just kind of choppy. Who knows? I'm kind of digging this music though. The whole point is that you guys get a little bit of extra juice in here so that you can have a better trading day. That's all. That's the whole point of this show. That's it. Every rep is helpful. Listen to me. The more you do this, the better trader you're going to be. I swear. I promise you. I just like, this is what will create. If you can do this on a daily basis, you will start to build some serious chops in your trading game. And when the time comes, when price does what it's doing, whatever it's going to do today, you won't be sitting there going, oh, I don't know. What if she goes higher? Who in here has had that experience to where you're trading and you're like, you got this trading model, you know, you've got your YouTube channels that you've been watching, and then like price breaks the high or price breaks the low or price is moving fast and you're like, I don't really know, like what's going on? What if she goes up farther? Well, what's target should I, oh, let me see. Well, I got this. And you got some targets on the chart, but like you haven't mapped it out. You haven't been like, oh, she broke high. I know what I'm going to do. Oh, did she break that range? Okay, well then I'm still at a C. You know, have you mapped it out for the day? Do you have your idea for going long and short? Maybe there's only one direction you want to trade in. Maybe you're like, you know what? I'm not even interested in trading anything unless it breaks the high. And if you're like that, more power to you, dude. Time to take the boy to school later. See you on the live. That's what's up, man. See you in there. So that's the whole point of doing analysis wide to narrow, is that you're not caught off guard. You know, you get your long and your short thesis ahead of time, where you're not second guessing anything. All right, Luanid says, can you point out a valid pullback? You said a 3 candle, but I heard someone say it has to be close. Wait, it has to be close one after the other and could be more than 3. It could be more than 3, absolutely. It does not have to necessarily be in sequence, but here's the real test to know if it's a real pullback. I want you guys to think of it like this. When you're looking at structure and really trying to identify whether or not a valid swing point is there, ask yourself, is it clear? Because if it's not clear, like really write that down. Seriously, if it's not clear, other traders around the world are not going to see it and they will not trade it. You want things that the entire market sees. Does that make sense? Why would you want things that only you see? That's dumb. If you're trading and you're thinking that the market's going to react off of stuff that only you see, you're out of your mind. That's just not how it works. Because it's psychology, right? It's psychology. It's group mentality. It's herd mentality. Everyone is going to react off of particular key levels. Everyone is going to see them. Everyone has them marked. If you're a trader and you do this and you're trading with real capital, you want to make sure clarity is the first thing that you look at. So I might see a 3 candle pullback like this one right here. Here's a good example. See this little pullback right here? I mean, is that clear on a 1 hour that that's like a swing point, or would I consider that more of like a consolidation zone, right? And I want to tell you something else. If you are questioning it, then it probably isn't, because other traders are questioning it. You see how this thing right here that you should literally just like, this is all you need. Is it clear? That's all you need. Because if you're questioning it, other people are questioning it around the world. And I promise you, clarity is the number one thing in trading. It's going to help you. So if you see a swing point and you're questioning it, forget it. Then no, that's not a swing point. And guess what? Let me tell you something else. Even if it is, and you miss market, you don't market the right way, remember what I'm telling you. This is an art, not a science, right? So, okay, I missed one. That's just one swing point, dude. Next. So what? There's plenty of other opportunities. Don't force yourself to get this right every single time, because it's not going to happen. You just move forward. Just move forward. If you see that swing point and you're like, you look back, you're like, you know, for some reason, whatever happened there, it was a trade that whatever could have happened, right? You look back and you're like, I think I mismanaged this swing point. That's fine. There's always the next one. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I really wouldn't worry about it too much. There's a lot of little swing points that don't matter. I like to look here. Here's another tip. This is a tip. Take your chart, squish it down, and zoom out. Okay. Now, when you do this, only look at the outer edges of price, the outer swing points. Like, look, I'll go from the top. We got where price is at right here. We've got this one down here, right? Kind of look away and then look back. Look away and then look back. You know what I mean? Like, do these little tricks that'll just help you. Look, this one out here, then it came from here, and then it went up here. Like, that right there. You see that? See that line I just drew? So that's like the obvious swing points. You know what's cool about that? When you get good at that, you're not looking at a 5-minute time frame. I know you are, but you're not. You're actually looking at a higher time frame. And so that's how I see like higher time frames. That right there, that might equal something more like the 4-hour. Now check this out, because we're already on a 1 hour, right? We're already on a 1 hour. But even when you do this on a 5-minute, you won't be looking at a 5-minute. You'll be looking at like a 1 hour. So check this out. Now look, if I change this to 4-hour, see how that matches perfectly? So you kind of get rid of the noise. You know, you want to kind of like try to get, it's like why a lot of people use Heikin-Ashi candles, because it smooths out price action, right? I don't use Heikin-Ashi, but I understand the people that do. They're just a little too late for me. The reaction is just a little too late for my style, but I hope that this helped. I hope this helps. Look away and look back is something I found to be very valuable from my back testing. All right, Bobby, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, it's funny. Those little tips and everything, it absolutely works. Looks like a compression pattern after the big move and a chop until it breaks out of it. That's 100% right. And when you say that, who was that? Josh? Guys, when you have a feeling, a gut, and your intuition, you know, even if you've been trading a short period of time, a lot of times, like new people, even when you're new at trading, they get it right, dude. But what happens is you start learning a bunch of bullshit, and then like it becomes this stew, this pot of like a bunch of crap that you've learned over the years, and before you know it, you're not trusting that instinct, and then you're switching strategies. You don't know which one, and then you're second guessing what you said 4 hours ago, but nothing's changed. And then you moved your time frame, and then you listen to this guy on YouTube, and he says we're going up. Whatever, dude. Like, just don't even listen to me. I'm just showing you structure here in the morning sessions. I'm not trying to convince you to even trade my strategy. I don't care if you don't know who I am or know what I do. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing you structure. That's it. All right, so you can take value from this. I'm not trying to convince you or sell you of anything other than get better at this. That's it. I struggled with this for 4 years, dude. This was a freaking hard journey for me. So I'm very proud of the fact that I can look at a chart now and do this top-down analysis and kind of know what I want to do for the day. You know what I mean? I know where I want to do business. I'll tell you right now, I want to do business above the range, up here. This is where I want to do business, and I want to do business going up. You like that? Who likes that mentality? It's pretty cool, right? Like even the words, I want to do business in this range. I like that. It's, to me, it resonates. It gives a feeling of like, I'm in control, right? I want to do business there. I'm in control. But I also know that I'm not in control. This market is in control. And so where are we right now? Look at where price actions are. I've kind of hung on a little longer just because I wanted to see if we break this. Look, it looks to me like, here's what it looks to me like. We're building some momentum. We got some, sorry, let me be more clear. Let me blow this up and be more clear. I'm focusing on clarity, guys. It's a problem. It looks to me like this consolidation range from yesterday into the overnight session, into our news break, which looks like was just a fake out to the downside at the moment. It could just slam down, but I'm just saying what it looks like right now. We're in a consolidation pattern, and it looks to me like the range could form either something like this, where we go up and take previous daily high, just like I said earlier. That is a target. It's got a green circle for a reason. And once we do that, once we take previous daily high, it just this is what it looks like, right? Hold on, move this around. It looks like the market, it's either going to do one of two things. It's going to do like this, boom, boom, right down in the chop, and we can just like build our range in here, whatever, you know. Maybe she breaks to the downside, whatever. I'm so not interested in this. This is like the most boring price action day. Once again, like a repeat pattern of yesterday. Not interested. I'll see you guys Friday. But here's another thing that she could do. And this is, I'm more interested in something like this. If she develops a 15-minute range to the upside, like taking out this prior high, and then starts to have price discovery up here and uses this bottom shelf as a catapult to go long, this is where I'm interested to really get in, right? Now, I will just use the 15-minute trigger one, which is a breakout trigger, right? I'll use that to get in, but I'm more interested in sizing up and going long at that point. So that's what my head is at. I'm going to jump over to live trading. Guys, if you want to learn everything I'm talking about and more, there's a link in the description if you're new to the channel. Go in. I have all the training for free. Listen, I'm just showing you structure. And I hope that you guys become better traders learning this stuff. So I got a boogie. But you guys have a great rest of your trading day. I will see my live crew in the live room. Let's go. Peace, love. I'm out. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining the channel. Thanks for liking. Thanks you for subscribing and just supporting me on here. I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of you guys are in the private group anyways, but just want to say I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. You guys are awesome. All right. Peace.